I'm Ashton Addison from the Crypto Coin Show, and today on Blockchain Interviews we have Alex Barros, COO of SeedHunter. Alex, welcome to the show, and thank you for taking the time.
All right, Ashton, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to be around.
Likewise, it's a pleasure to see what you and your team are working on with SeedHunter. I'm a big fan of early stage Web3 companies. Getting into them before they become unicorns, of course, is always nicer than at the very end. And I know that there's a lot of innovation going on in crypto and Web3 right now, a lot of cool companies. So I'm excited to hear a little bit about what SeedHunter is working on. I'd love to start off our conversation by sort of a high level on what you and your team have built at SeedHunter, and then we can dive into all the latest details.
Sure, my pleasure. Yeah, the idea from SeedHunter came from own experience, right? Like me and the two co-founders, we spent a long time in the crypto space and we see a lot of potential going on, but we also see some inefficiencies in the market. That's why we decided to build SeedHunter to tackle them and make collaborations easy, secure, and scalable for everyone. So we have two main core services that we are offering right now. One is the marketing module, where in a nutshell, a project can create influencer campaigns. Influencers can participate in this campaign. Everything is digitalized. We have a matching algorithm going on there as well that checks many different parameters like social metrics and also how real the user base from the followers, from the influencers are, right? To be able to set a price, also taking into consideration the matching. So we are always trying to take the manual workload away and focus on things that the projects will get more benefit from it, right? And the whole community, actually. And then today we're here to talk about the funding module, which is a platform where the projects have the possibility to create early stage funding rounds, right? So we are tackling mostly pre-seed, seed, and private rounds. Everything also digitalized. We also offer a lot of benefits to the community while accessing those rounds that we can talk in detail then later on in this conversation. But in a nutshell, what we want to do is to make it easier for projects to raise the money they need to develop and also for the community to participate, just like you said. If you get on board early on high potential projects, usually the returns are also very interesting, and that's what we want to enable with the project.
Definitely. There's so many billion-dollar market cap coins in crypto now, and if only I would have heard about them when they were at their seed stage. I feel like that's one of the pain points, is that how do you find out about these projects and get into them? And I don't think that there's a great central location for that to happen.
Exactly. There isn't. Usually you never know about a project before they are already on their TGE, right? Or if you do, you have some difficulties assessing this project. And there are many reasons for that. Usually, like the projects, since they have to do everything manually, to talk to investors, to pitch to different groups of people, and then to negotiate every single contract manually, they keep it very restricted. And they also demand higher ticket sizes. So usually the problem that the community have is that either they don't know that there is a seed round going on. If they know that they don't have access to it because they don't know the right people. And many times if they do know the right people, they don't have enough money to participate because the ticket sizes are usually starting from $5,000, $10,000, and not everyone has this kind of money laying around, right? In addition to that, they also have a difficulty to know and to evaluate if a project is really good. And honestly speaking, this is very challenging for anyone, even someone who really knows how to evaluate projects. It's kind of hard to evaluate because you don't really have the access to the projects to ask the difficult questions, right? In our case, we have the benefit that the projects want to raise money with us. So they come to us, and that's why we have an open channel of communication to ask the difficult questions, to ask for, other documents to prove that they are really who they say they are, that they really have a good model, that they really have good ideas and an idea on how to implement their vision. And that puts us in a like beneficial position to evaluate deeply and then only accept the projects that we really see have a good potential.
No, that's a great part of sort of getting past the initial qualification of, hey, is this project actually worthy, or is it, a legitimate project? Can you talk a little bit more about the advantages of, say I'm a retail investor with a small amount of capital. I'm looking for the next unicorn to turn my $100 into 100,000 potentially. So SeedHunter is there to help bring initial qualifications of the project. You can see the metrics, and you're also lowering the barriers to entry so that I'm able to invest with less money and I don't have to go to them with a $10,000 check.
Exactly. That's exactly it, right? Like you will find on Seed Hunter not only one, but different types of seed rounds and early stage rounds, right? Maybe pre-seed, seed, and private rounds. So all of the projects that you find there, they already went through a due diligence process from our side, right? So we check not only the business plan, we also check the team. They do have to go through a KYB process, so they do have to have like a company incorporated and a lot of legal requirements met. We check the tokenomics, we check the token utility, do a background. So the projects there, they have already convinced us, and most likely they have already convinced other VC companies and other partners to that they really mean business and they have potential, right? So for the day-to-day participants, you have this guarantee of high potential. And of course, they should not only trust us. Like as everybody says in the crypto space, you need to do your own research, right? So in our page, they will also find all of the information that we analyze structured in our project research page. So they will find everything that we analyze, all of the underlying documents, the tokenomics. They will find the pitch deck, the white paper, everything organized in a way that they can easily go through and assess and do their own research and fact check everything that they have there before they decide to participate. And then if they decide to participate in this funding round, then they can just do it in a few clicks. They go over the process, they define how much do they want to participate with, they see in the same overview how many tokens are they getting for that, how much are they paying for each token, how much is the public price is going to be. This is also a huge benefit, is that you pay on seed rounds on average about 50% less than you would pay on a TG, on a public round, right? So you already have a profit on the TG date if you start, negotiating the tokens right away. And like you said before, they can start with lower sums, right? So you can test it out. You can, participate with $50 first, $100. There's always new rounds coming around. So it's very easy for them to participate, test it out, see how it goes, and then start developing from that. And of course, in the beginning, since we are launching right now, we have the first rounds going on. We are giving a small incentive to everyone of $10. So anytime you participate, $10 on top is already given from our side. To incentivize a little bit people to participate and try it out.
Yeah, that's great, Alex. And as you are launching right now, I'm curious, what are some of the types of Web3 projects that you're personally bullish on? And also, are you seeing specific categories of Web3 coming to launch more? I think AI and gaming are pretty hot. Meme coin communities are actually surprisingly hot and bringing utility as well. So what are you seeing in the market right now?
Yes, of course. Yeah, we are interested, first of all, in projects that have a good idea, right? That have a real life use. So first of all, I think this is the golden rule is to find a project that really has a unique idea that people will really benefit from using it. So having said that, of course, like I said, the project needs to meet some legal requirements to be able to pass the KYB. The team needs to be experienced. Also, a team that likes to present themselves, right? I think it's necessary when doing the due diligence that we really know who's behind the project, that those people are also respected and know what they're doing. The business model itself, the revenue model needs to be on point. Other than that, we have a lot of gaming projects coming up. We have a strong network on gaming. We really believe that there is a huge potential there for the whole Web3 space on gaming. Worldwide, the numbers of gamers is just increasing nonstop, right? And then why not create something where the users can have fun and also profit from it, right? So at the end of the day, this is a no-brainer idea that I think everyone should follow up on. Then we have the technological developments. Usually the usability or the utility in the real life comes also with the technological advancements. So we have AI really strong right now. Anything that it's really bringing new solutions or saving time from the users together with the blockchain technology, layer one, layer two solutions. Those projects are very strong with us. Then, of course, DeFi is always one of the big players on the crypto space, right? So those solutions or those projects are always seen, like with good eyes from our side. And yeah, in addition to that, we don't really block projects based on their niches.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that might lead us to block a project is, like I said, if they don't really pass the due diligence, if they don't really have a convincing idea, we really only want to accept projects where we would also participate on the projects, right? So this is a golden rule for us.
Mm-hmm.
We can only promote to our community something that we also believe in, and we would feel comfortable to put some money in the participation as well ourselves, right? And then if a project is really going against our values, for example, we don't really accept anything related to guns, to weapons, to drugs, or if it's a clear scam, that we recognize during the due diligence that there is a scam or a gambling a project. Those are things that might lead to or that will lead to a veto directly. But in general, all the projects are welcome. We'll go and treat them the same, go through the due diligence, make sure they have a good idea, they have a plan in place, and then, yeah, they will be welcome to join.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great golden rule of if the team isn't going to invest themselves, and why would you share it with your community or share it with your friends? You want to believe in it to have it on there. And I like what you said about the categories. I think gaming is a huge market as well, and I think gaming studios are still figuring out the Goldilocks zone of how to perfectly incorporate blockchain to add value, but not too much, where it's lowering the barriers to entry or it's too financial based and people are just playing it to make money, but they're not actually playing it to have fun and create a sustainable ecosystem in the game, which there are traditional games that have ecosystems that are generating millions and millions of dollars. There's going to be that moment, and there's a few Web3 gaming studios they're almost there, I think. And once that happens, if you can get into the next Call of Duty or Counter-Strike that becomes a 20-year long series in the seed round, I feel like that would be a great opportunity to not miss.
Exactly. That's the main goal. That's what we're looking for, the next 100x.
And, I've seen launch pads around, but this seems like it's a little bit different than traditional crypto launchpad. Can you talk about the differences and why it's better?
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't even say that it's better, but we are helping launchpads or helping projects get ready for the launchpads, right? Like
Mm.
the biggest difference in a nutshell is that we are a few steps earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, when a project comes to a launchpad, they need to have a couple of things, right, to be accepted. But some of these things are they need to have a community already around them, and they need to have something to show for. They need to have a white paper, they need to have a product, maybe already very far in the development roadmap to be able to pass the due diligence so that the launchpad can say, okay, sounds interesting. I believe in you guys. I see that you have a good community, so we will launch your tokens, right? Like, so usually they need to do that. And projects do the seed round mostly to get these things. They need
Mm-hmm.
money so that they can finalize the product or they need to do marketing to grow their communities, right? So in our case, what we're doing is that we are merging the two things together. Usually the projects, they do the seed round and then they get the money and then they spend on these things. And right now they can raise the money while at the same time with us build the community. Because since we reduce the number or the amount of manual workload that they have, they can also open up to lower ticket sizes. So this is the main goal, to make it more accessible for everyone, right? Before, the projects needed to negotiate every single contract with the investors on a one-to-one basis. They needed to pitch to a huge number of people in different Telegram chats, right? Before they could negotiate these contracts. So because of this huge manual workload, they had higher ticket sizes because it wouldn't make sense to talk to every single person and negotiate everything with every single individual, like for a participation of $50, $100. But in our case, they don't have to do this. They just negotiate with us one time. They do the pitching together with our account management, set everything up in the platform so it's very clear what they do and the conditions and everything. They finalize the legal setup, so that means the agreements between the participants and the projects is discussed one time, and uploaded to the platform, and then everything happens pretty much automatically. People will log in, will see they want to participate, they close the participation, the contract receives an overview of every single person who's participating, how much are they participating with, and so on and so forth. So this gives also the possibility to the projects to accept lower ticket sizes. And then what's the impact from that? The impact is that you can have, like a raise of 100K. And then if you have an average participation of $50, that means that in this raise alone, you already have 2,000 people that are following you, that are engaged with you, that really want to see your project working out, right? That will will comment, will follow up, will participate in airdrops for your project, right? So this is the main benefit, is that you are raising funds and you are building the community at the same time. So you can, use these funds maybe for other things that you need and not on marketing campaigns to get those 2,000 followers, right?
Definitely. No, that makes sense. And thank you for explaining that. And I think it's potentially even better if it does become a unicorn, you're getting involved in the seed before the launch. And so there's a potential higher upside if everything goes well for the team. And similar to traditional investing, but better, because I feel like there's more transparency and you're able to follow along more with the team, especially through the platform. Usually when you invest in a seed, it's not liquid right away, at least until they launch. Does it go on a team by team basis on, say I invest, but it's not going to launch for 6 months or a year, or maybe it's a month? Does that just vary per project?
Yes, that varies a lot, of course. And it's also understandable, because the projects, they can only launch in the right time, right? And when is the right time, right? Like maybe it depends a little bit on their on their own efforts, right? Like the product development, the marketing, and so on. And this they should be able to guarantee for, right? But sometimes it depends also a little bit more on the whole marketing market sentiment, like are we right now, did something weird happen in the market and that's why everybody's a little bit worried, or should we wait a few months because we know that on the gaming segment something is going to happen, is going to push the intention of the people on the market, right? So there are like many things that is not under their control. But usually what we try to do is that the sooner the TG is confirmed, the better it is, right, for the participants. Of course, that also goes a little bit on the opposite direction if you're talking about the seed prices and how much discount can you get, right? At the end of the day, this is what you need to put in a balance, right? Like if you participate in a project like Bitcoin, for example, right? Which it's established project, it works, there is already a lot of people on board, and then you can participate on that, and then of course it's going to keep on growing, and then you're going to have this growth. But you know that the chances that Bitcoin is going to grow 100x is very low, right? It's probably not going to happen like that, right? And then if you go and you participate in Bitcoin, for example, in the beginning of Bitcoin or on the first years, and then we know about all of the success stories of the people who participated and got on board at that time, how much did they grew their portfolio, right? They had more risk because at that time nothing was certain, but the growth was higher. And at the end of the day, this is exactly the analogy that we should have with seed rounds, right? Like the earlier you get on board, the higher are your chances. But of course, you also have some risks that the project will not develop, will not, like be able to prove themselves or something happens in the market, right? So to be very transparent, this is something should be clear for everybody. When you evaluate, you can only be so sure as to evaluate the basics, the metrics, like to be on the safe side or on the safer side. But it is a high potential participation, and then of course with that comes also a certain amount of risks.
Definitely, very well said, Alex. And I think even unicorns now in the crypto space and in traditional web, the $1 trillion companies that we see on the top of the stock market, when they were in their seed round, people don't know it was going to be a unicorn. They spent years fundraising and getting rejected by investors, and they pushed through, and finally, hey, it actually turned out to be one of the biggest companies in the world. You just have no idea. And the perseverance of the team, I think, plays a big role in it. But just because the unlock is happening in 3 weeks doesn't mean that it's going to be a good investment because you're getting your money back quicker. Often, they're probably rushing into things.
Yes, exactly. That's a very good analogy because sometimes it makes sense to push the TGE date a little bit, and then the chances of success is going to be higher exactly because you push the TGE, right? So of course, like when you participate, you are like waiting there and you're very excited, you want to see it happening. But like you said, sometimes there are like bigger forces playing around, and you said it also very, very clearly and very good, right? If you think about many of the big companies that we have right now, even for example, if you think about like outside of the crypto space, if you think about Amazon, for example, it is a known story that they almost went bankrupt a couple of times, right? But they had the perseverance and the resilience enough to keep on doing, keep on working, keep on optimizing until they became the kind of company that they are right now. And in the crypto space is not different in this perspective.
Mm-hmm. How optimistic or pessimistic are you in the crypto market as a whole leading into the rest of Q3 and Q4 of 2024? I feel like there are a lot of factors building up for potential, a lot of upside in Bitcoin, and that trickling down into other crypto assets and also Web3 startups.
Yeah. Look, I'm very optimistic. I think there is no going back anymore, right? Of course, the market oscillations, we're going to have it anywhere, anyhow. It's not different in the traditional financial market as well. But there are so many good signs, like with the whole ETFs that are going on, with the adoption, with the participation from big investors, from big company, how many of them are integrating blockchain technologies and even decentralized tactics, to their business model. That I think it's going to keep on going up. This year, I think it's going to be a full bull run year. I don't think it's going to go down really soon. And then, of course, like some going up and down, this will happen anyway. But the technology has proven itself, right? There is a real life use, and there are so many other areas where we could implement this. And it's just missing a little bit of decision and a little bit of people that we want to try it out, right, and want to invest time and money, of course, in these ideas. And once they do, things are gonna start to develop. Like just like people know in the real estate area, or even on the medicinal area, data security, technology, gaming. There are so many possibilities where you can implement blockchain to make things easier, better, more efficient. And right now, it's just a matter of time until many people start to discover and really trust in themselves in these areas. That I think it's no question at all that it's going to keep on growing.
I love the optimism, Alex. And as the rest of 2024 plays out, hopefully, very optimistically, I'm also optimistic on Bitcoin, and I think that will trickle down. How are you and your team planning the roadmap of growth for SeedHunter to drive more people and bring more utility to the projects that are launching their seed?
Yes. So right now we have a very, very good platform, right? Where we have two core services that are working really well. We have the marketing and we have the funding, and they work. Both of them, they work for the projects to get the funding and also get the marketing, right? So it's very easy for them to get everything they need so they can concentrate on their core business model, right? And then in addition to that, what can we do? What we want to do right now is to focus on the optimization of the platform, focus on the brand awareness, right? To generate and create the community, right? To show people that we really mean business, that we are serious, that we are trustworthy, that they can count on us, like for those safe, secure, and scalable corporations that I talked in the beginning of the conversation. And then in addition to that, we want to offer the community very good seed rounds. This is what we're working on right now. We already have 3 projects in the pipeline. The idea is that we publish 2 to 3 projects a month, right? Like high potential seed rounds, and this is what we're doing. And for the projects is that we want to offer them a partner, not only to raise money and not only to do marketing. So what we want to do is that we want to have projects come to us, which they already are doing. We analyze with very much care the idea, the team, and we offer them whatever they need. If they need only a referral for a market maker, and then we have that as well, right? If they need some referral for a legal firm, that can assist them on the setup or the KYB process, or if they need, I don't know, accounting services and so on, we're not going to provide this ourselves, but we have some people that can jump into the conversation. And then, of course, if they need marketing, if they need funding, we are the right people for them to reach out to. If they are projects with high potential, then we will find also other solutions outside of the scope of SeedHunter. We can open communication to VC companies. We can get on board. What we really want to do is that we really want to push the right projects so that they really have what they need to succeed and they can concentrate on their core business model, right? So this is in a nutshell what we want to do. Once we are doing this, then the opportunities are limitless, right? Like once you have a community of people engaged and everybody working together, trying to make it happen, and then we know from history itself how much people can do if they are able to work together, and build win-win corporations. We can really change the whole scope and the whole market, and this is what we're striving for.
That's great. Well, I'm looking forward to more seeds launching on SeedHunter. I'll be watching because I'm definitely interested in the next 100x potential as well. So I'm going to take a look and see how I can participate in those. Is there a best place to follow along with the new launches? Is it on the site or on the socials?
Yes, we have a Twitter channel. As we know, X is very strong in the crypto space, right? So you guys can follow us there. We publish everything about upcoming projects and also some informative content, how to do your own research, like all of the things that is necessary for people who would like to participate in seed rounds. So our Twitter channel, we are also post in the description. It's called SeedHunter HQ, like headquarters. It's easy to find us there. We also have, of course, also the web page called seedhunter.com, where you can find more information. Also the login links if you want to register to the platform, find information there. We also have a Discord and Telegram channel. All the links are findable over the website as well. So everybody's free to join and be part of the community, yeah, and get then first hand information about the seed rounds that are coming up.
Amazing. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to check out the gaming platform and all the rest of the launches coming up. I think 2 to 3 per month is a great sweet spot for not too many projects. Obviously, you want quality projects and to have enough quality projects coming in. And I have a feeling like when Bitcoin starts to rise, there's going to be more projects and more people coming into the industry to realize, hey, we can revolutionize our industry, or we have this great idea that we can integrate blockchain with and create a seed, and hopefully it becomes one of the biggest companies in the world, like some of the crypto projects on the front page are starting to become. So I appreciate you and your team building on a platform that give the opportunity for these projects to get the early stage funding. And wishing you and your team all the best moving forward, Alex, and would love to follow up in the near future.
Thank you so much, Ashton. Yeah, it was a pleasure to be here, and good to have you also around, right? Let us know anything we can do, anything for you guys. And yeah, don't forget to participate and be part of the next 100X.